All right, what have we here? So we got trashing, rat catcher, or loan. Or trader, I guess, but trader seems really bad here. We've got draw, destrier, diplomat, eventually city, counting house technically. Action, city. I guess the big limitation here is going to be plus buy, isn't it? There's no good way to gain cards. You'll be able to get 3 free cards off of the magic lamp. And then you can gain lots of actions via populate. Although a decent portion of those actions are ones you don't want very much. Counting house, trader, duchy all seem really bad. I think you still build here. Like, it's nice that you can gain your actions, draw, and payload all at once by populating to get like a destrier city and a groundskeeper. And then if you do that a bit, you could eventually activate cities for plus buy versus an opponent who just tries to buy provinces and then buy estates with your groundskeepers. So I think building is still worth it. It's going to be tricky for a while, though. I think activating lamp early, as usual, is a bit of a priority. And hitting 10 will be a priority. Hitting 10 also seems not easy. Maybe Secret Cave helps with it. I think I probably want to start with a rat catcher. What do I pair with the rat catcher? Basically, I want many unique action cards in my deck at the moment, just to maximize my chance of getting 6 unique cards in play for Magic Lamp. So I don't really want to double up on anything. I could consider loan. Loan trashes coppers. On the other hand, loan is just so bad. I can't even describe exactly why loan sucks so much. It's just every time I play with it, it never does what it's supposed to do. It's magnificently bad at being a copper trasher. And I doubly don't trust it with Magic Lamp around. So maybe not loan. But I mean, there's just really no good trashing otherwise. Like I don't want multiple rat catchers because they kind of get in the way of each other, I think. Like you can't call them on the same turn or it hurts your ability to activate Magic Lamp. I think I am going to get the loan. I hate this card. I hate it. Loan is so terrible. I don't trust loan. But I'm not seeing what else I buy. I want to get thin, and nothing else really does that. Oh no. Okay, good. We trashed a copper. And we're also going to get to trash an estate here. Actually, I mean, I could consider. What am I buying this turn? Probably a silver, I guess, if I hit 3. I've hit 4. Oh wait, is that an activation? I don't even. Oops. Undo 2. I didn't even notice I already did 6. That works just fine. I didn't think that was gonna happen so fast. That was just a pretty lucky draw, wasn't it? I was not even on guard for it. Well, that makes my choice easy. I'll buy Destrier. I almost overlooked that entirely. Okay, so now we've got our wishes. I think step 2 here is going to be to hit 10. Still not totally sure what that looks like. can wish for a city, I guess. I've trashed 2 coppers. I had 6 coppers. So down there are 2 coppers. And a wish? Yeah, 2 coppers and a wish down there. So if I were to discard now with Secret Cave, that might inhibit my ability to buy Destrier. Maybe if I wish for gold here, then gold plus Secret Cave should get me to 10 next turn. I don't really want the gold all that badly, but I feel like if it gets me to populate a turn sooner, it's probably worth it. Alternatively, I could discard, wish for Destrier, then... No, I mean, I'm still not getting anything better out of that. I just have to wish for the gold, so I'll just do it now. And another Destrier, I think. I think I value the draw a lot. I mean, alternatively, I could get started on Groundskeepers, or I could take another city. I'm just going to take the Destrier. The Groundskeepers and the cities pay off much later. And I'm not so worried about draw this turn, but I think after populating, I might have some draw troubles. Because, I mean, the benefit of populating is you get a bunch of good cards in your deck, but it also gets a bunch of bad cards in your deck that are going to take a while to trash. So yeah, I think I'm in the lead, but it's not everything here. The popping lamp early is important for tempo, but there's also this kind of like awkward middle phase here where my deck's still not doing that much because it's going to be single buy for a while. And when he eventually activates that magic lamp, that would be the time to catch up. Okay, so can I trash this copper and still hit 10? I will have a gold. I will have 3 money already. I will have a loan that is 7. I've trashed 3 coppers. I have 3 coppers left. Ew. Do I need to keep the copper around? I mean, I could wish for a second gold. That sounds so wasteful. But I really want to. I want to trash. 3, 6, 9. Yeah. So this alone is gonna miss. That sucks, but oh well. Having to spend 1 wish on a gold seems kind of fine. I would have had to get payload somehow. Having to do it twice feels like it hurts. Like, I've got all this random stuff now, like Duchess and Trader and whatnot, that can be payload. So having to spend 2 wishes that it could have been good cards on that instead is just unfortunate. Okay, so we'll I don't want to play the counting house, even though it draws me a copper, because I want the copper to stay down there so that I can trash it. I can't trash this copper, however, or else I don't hit 10. Oh, I should have played this trader, and I have to click through every one of these individually. Oh, Should I consider turning any of these into silver? Maybe I should. I probably should have thought about that for Counting House at the very least. I'm not sure any of these other ones are better off being silvers than not. But I could have like turned the Counting House into a silver. I mean, not like both of them suck. I don't want a silver in my deck. I don't want a Counting House in my deck. But maybe I don't want a Counting House even more than I don't want a silver. Let us trash cards. And please don't dud. Well, so much for that. That's an okay card to leave on top. I think I want a groundskeeper. So I don't need to play anything else. I'm going to ox this trader just so it doesn't ask me to turn my groundskeeper into a silver. Alright, do I rat catch this gold? That might be the best play. Like, I'm getting way more money than I need with duchesses and stuff. So I think I would rather trash this gold. My concern is if it prevents me from pinning 10. That is a real risk. My deck is not at the level of reliability that I'm sure I'll draw my payload. So he's got 3 wishes to spend. I presume that's what he's deliberating about right now. Yep, there goes 1. Again, I feel like the goal you're trying to achieve here is basically hit 10 while wasting as few wishes on payload cards as possible. I don't think he has much payload, though. So yeah, he's had to spend 1 wish on a gold. I hope he has to do that for the other one as well. He did not. A bit unfortunate. I do kind of want to make sure that I hit 10 here. This gold gets to live another day. Do I have any coppers left? I have a copper left somewhere. There it is. Okay, so 2 money. I would like to get that rat catcher down if I could. Hitting 10 is the top priority. I can ox the counting house, draw the rat catcher, play the rat catcher. This gets me to 10 while allowing me to trash a copper, so that seems pretty good. I am sad that none of my bad cards are on top, because I would like to rat catch them, get them out of my deck. I guess I can't be too sad, because if I had too many bad cards on top, that would also be bad, because I would dud. But the only good way to get the excess traders and counting houses and such out of my deck is via rat catcher, because using trader just turns them into tons of silvers, which is even worse. And lone can't trash them. He still has one wish that he's holding back in reserve. That could be a concern. So, for example, if you save that wish and then you wish for cities to activate cities on your turn, that's actually something of a threat, isn't it? I wonder if that's what he's planning on doing. Get that loan out of here. Yeah, that's actually kind of big, isn't it? If he were to activate cities mid-turn with his wish. That could be a problem for me. God. I do have so much crap in my deck, and I want to trash more of it. But it's not easy to do. I can at least kill a gold here, right? Yeah, I can get rid of a gold. And that'll be okay. I only need one gold to hit 10 now. Discard the diplomat. I was hoping for the gold to be higher up in the shuffle than the diplomat was. Discard the counting house. So that I could just trash the gold and leave the diplomat top decked. But it was not meant to be. You know, I went to some work here to hit 10. And then now that I'm looking at the state of the kingdom, maybe I can't afford to populate again. In fact, actually, that seems relatively likely to be losing, doesn't it? That would empty both destriers and rat catchers, and then his cities would give him plus buy. That seems very bad. Do I take a province now? I think he's put himself in a pretty good position with this little wish thingy. I think he has a very, very realistic threat here of activating cities on his turn, which puts me in a bad spot. It's not the level 1 cities that concern me. It's the second step where you activate it and it gives you plus buy, and then potentially pile out. But he could buy a destrier next turn, and then he's threatening to wish for Ratcatcher the turn after that. The thing that gives me hope is I have more of the cities, don't I? Looks like it's 4-3 on those. I'm worried that I might have to score. The other option I think is taking another city. Yeah, so what if I score now, then I think what he does is he buys a destrier, and then he buys a city, and then he plays his wish, empties rat catchers, plays all the cities, and then he's in a good spot. So maybe the way I counteract that is just by taking another city, and then if he ever empties cities and doesn't end immediately on that turn, I have a bunch of cities and win the following turn. I think if I just went into greening phase, then he would just beat me in the long term. Because, provinces aren't much if you can get to the groundskeeper stuff. This is tricky. This is real tricky. My advantage is I've got a lot more of the good cards in my deck. His advantage is that wish that he's holding on to. I wonder if I should have done that. I mean, for me, it would have taken a lot longer. I would have had to hold that wish for most of the game. And that would mean populating a turn later. But given how troublesome that singular wish is, it might have been worth it for me to keep one as well. Even if it means populating later and having a less good deck for a while. I'm not exactly sure what he buys here. I feel like it's probably Destrier. Now I'm rethinking the province, or lack thereof, from last turn. So obviously I just going for provinces from here on out would have just been losing. And that seemed clear enough. Now I'm thinking maybe the best line was just to province for the points lead, to put him in this situation where he can't activate cities and win on the same turn. I don't know. It's tough. Oh, he spent his wish. Why did he do that? He wished for a groundskeeper? I think we were on two very different pages about the function of that wish. I thought he was holding it in reserve this whole time to activate cities, and he just wanted a groundskeeper out of it? Well, okay then. Feel free to have a groundskeeper. I might dud here. It's not out of the question. I should play the Duchess first, actually. Oh, well, Destrier is on top anyway. If it was a stop card, I could have discarded it, and that would have been nice. As it turns out, Duchess helped him more, as it usually does. Duchess is Duchess is awful, mostly because it's just a junk terminal silver. But like even aside from that, Duchess's effect tends to help your opponent a bit more than you. Because you're playing it at the end of your turn, they're playing it at the start of their turn. Or they're getting the effect at the start of their turn. And so it helps the opponent avoid dudding. So he's in greening mode. Do I want to green? I don't know. I can't take groundskeeper or else he'll just populate and win. Same with city. Maybe I do just province here. It doesn't matter whether I keep that on top or not. It's getting discarded via the loan. Goodbye, gold. I can trash two cards here. Probably the loan and the trader. I need my deck to stay thin so I can find my groundskeepers every turn. Like that didn't happen last turn. And continuing to do that will be important during the greening phase. Sure, keep that on top. And what you really want to see with their Duchess is a junk card. I'd love to discard a junk card. Secondarily, following a junk card, I'd like to see a Destrier on top. Or even a Diplomat. Those are kind of equivalent. Seeing a kind of like a middling card like Groundskeeper is probably the worst thing to see. Because like, there's no reason to discard it. But it's also not a card you really wanted on top. I assume he'll take province here? Yeah. Die counting house. Die trader. Alright, we found Destry anyway, so I think we're fine. Can play the Duchess now, I guess. Keep that. I probably shouldn't have oxed to that traitor. I didn't need the actions for the diplomat. Like I did it to activate my diplomat to get the +2 actions. I didn't need those +2 actions. And there's probably a world where I wanted to keep it around just to discard to Secret Cave for some extra money on the following turn. And so I think that was probably a mistake. Have I left myself with less than 8 money in deck? I might have done that. I think I did that. This one debt is actually I mean, like I have 8 money in deck, which is totally fine for every turn except for this one. But I have this one debt left over from the province that is being a little bit obnoxious right now. This Duchess is going to trigger a bad shuffle, but it's okay. Because the loan then clears it out. Just taking Duchy now. I do not want a free Duchess. Like, I don't plan on buying any of the cards that still have debt on them. So now I've got 8, and for future turns that should be fine. Actually, I've got more than 8, because I've got multiple Secret Caves coming in this turn. I feel like I've positioned myself poorly here somehow. And he's managed to catch up. And this was a concern. You know, I was saying I get an early tempo lead by activating my lamp faster. But then I'm kind of stuck in this just like buy one thing per turn phase for a while. It gives him a bit of a chance to play catch up. And I think I've still got a little bit of a lead here, but it's not substantial. The issue is with the amount that he's built, with 4 groundskeepers and 3 cities, I can't do the thing that I was going to do if he just like didn't build at all. Like if you just go straight for provinces and don't build, that loses to them just emptying the piles and then doing things with cities. I can't do that because I think his deck is strong enough that if I did that, he gets the first chance to play with the plus buy cities. And that would be winning for him. So here, maybe I do care about making sure Diplomat activates. Like I've hit 8 already, but I also want to draw a lot so I can activate my Secret Caves. For extra insurance. That bottom card is a Duchy. I don't think I want to trash that. Don't want to play the Duchess. Just gives him a free check of his top deck. I think it's probably worth trashing this estate. I mean, it activates my Diplomat, which is like a nice little bonus. Mostly it just minimizes my chance of dudding in future shuffles, and I don't think the 1 point here is going to be the make or break. Actually, maybe it will be. No, I don't think it will. Like, we're gonna enter a duchy dancing phase, I think, now. But it's not gonna be a 3 point per turn duchy dance, which is why I was thinking for a second maybe the one extra point will make a difference. It's gonna be like a 7 point per turn duchy dance, because you still got 4 groundskeepers to play. What a weird game. I thought he had me if he went ahead with the plan that I thought he was doing, which was hold off on that wish, then like empty destriers and lower cities to 1. Maybe empty groundskeepers and lower cities to 1. That takes a turn longer, but it gets you groundskeeper. And then play the wish at the start of your turn, gain a city. Now you've got like +5 buy, and then you buy like 5 duchies or something. I thought seemed like a strong thing to do. Alright, he's just going to province. I don't think I'm going to dud this turn. I'll province back, and then he'll buy duchy, and then I'll buy duchy. All of that should work out fine-ish. I think I want to trash the estate, because I could see this game potentially going on for a few more turns if it follows down that route. In which case, I want as few junk cards as possible. Okay, so can I see any good cards on top? Maybe. Yeah, I think this works out just fine. I'm gonna not play the loan, and now my top of deck is a diplomat and a counting house, and I can trash the counting house with my rat catcher, and then activate diplomat. I mean, as it turns out, I drew 2 gestures in a city anyway, so I probably wasn't gonna dud regardless. But I thought that top decking diplomat counting house seemed like a nice way to reduce my chances of dudding while still trashing a card. So now we buy duchies for a while. Sure, that can be on top. And I will have to buy the last duchy, which will activate his cities. And that is somewhat irksome, because it means the cities you're going to draw. But it's not a big deal, because cities that draw 2 aren't a problem. My concern is what comes after that, in which we start buying estates for 5 victory points each. And then if I again have to buy the last estate for 5 victory points, then that would activate his cities, and then he buys like province ratcatcher and wins. I should think about. Oops, I didn't do the trash thingy that I wanted to do. Call ratcatcher, kill counting house. I should think about how to avoid this problem. I mean, my deck seems super, super duper reliable, which is good. But extra reliability is hard to convert into a solid advantage. What doesn't matter now? I didn't want to top deck a diplomat and 2 bad cards, so now I'm just gonna have to clear off the bottom with my loan. Okay, let me think. I think I'm in trouble here. I think I'm in a lot of trouble here. Because I mean, my deck can probably go 10 more turns or however long that would be without dudding. I'm not sure if his can, but I'm worried that it might. And like it's not just that like you have to hit 2 when you're doing like estate dance, because you do have to at least find all your groundskeepers. So it's something of a challenge. But at the same time, he's got 3 cities in there, and so I'm giving him 3 more laboratories by doing this. I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to deviate from this line that helps me. If we duchy back and forth, I'll have a points lead at the end of that, but not a huge one. It'd be a pretty small one. I'll be up by like 2 points. I can't buy groundskeeper or I lose to populate. I can't buy city or I lose to populate. So it's hard to sneak in some extra action cards. At least the ones that would be valuable here. That's tricky. I think the answer is I might just have to oh, I think I just figured out what the answer is. I think I figured it out. With Trader, you actually don't have to lower these piles ever, do you? I mean, not ever. The silvers will run eventually. But, so what if instead of taking the last duchy, I just use Trader to turn it into a silver? Or maybe I do that for the estates. You know, like I take estates, but instead of gaining the estate, I turn it into a silver. I like that. I do like that. Oh, I don't like what that implies for this game, however. So I don't think I want to do it on the duchies, because he might just snatch up the extra duchy and say like, all right, I got the extra points. So I think the way this goes is we empty the duchies and we lower the estates a bit. And then when it comes time for me to take the final estate, I say, nope, I'm turning that estate into a silver. I'm just going to take the 4 points off of groundskeeper and leave the estate in the pile with Trader's reaction. But then what if he does it back? Has he trashed his traders already? Oh, he's trashed all of his traders. Oh my goodness, is this the plan now? This could work. So we duchy dance back and forth. We get to the last estate, and then I say, psych, I'm leaving that there. And then if he buys it, well, then my city's activate, and then I had to like double province or something. I can probably kill his duchess, right? I don't need 2 of them. Do I need to kill the duchess? I'm not sure killing the duchess actually helps me. The duchess is actually kind of payload. Oh man, what a silly endgame this is shaping up to be. Now, I wasn't thinking about that, so maybe he's not thinking about that either, and it'll catch him by surprise. I'd be very happy if that were the case. I don't even need to put... I have been playing these duchesses to hit 8, haven't I, for these last few turns, even though I didn't need to, because I'm only buying duchy here. I don't want a free Duchess, I don't think. Wait. Uh-oh. Cognitive dissonance is setting in. At the start of this turn, I said I didn't want to trash my Duchess. Now I'm saying I don't want a free Duchess. Are those both true? It feels like those shouldn't both be true. I feel like I have to be wrong about one of those. I mean, it could be, of course, that 2 Duchesses is exactly the right number in my deck, in which case those are both true. But I'm kind of skeptical. This feels like a bad case of loss aversion. Is a deck with more Duchesses better than a deck with fewer Duchesses? Probably yes, right? It means I can do less of the secret cave stuff and still have payload. So I should take a Duchess. No, this is going to take a while. I mean, if all goes according to plan, my big reveal isn't coming for like another 5 turns or so. I'm really looking forward to this trader thing, though. I hope it works. Now, I think I can only afford to trash as many victory cards as he trashes. Because like I'm up by 2 points at the moment, the way this is working. And then my plan at the end is going to involve me passing up on an estate for free. And so I won't really have much of a points lead. And so I worry that trashing like estates or something might be enough to give me a points deficit and put me in a bad spot. Okay, so we're gonna draw, we're gonna keep drawing. We're gonna do the KV thing. Oh, that doesn't even activate the diplomats. How disappointing. Is it worth activating them? Maybe. Let's just draw one. Keep that on top. I would rather not play the Duchesses, I believe. He discarded a card, so it'd give him another free check of the top of his deck. Okay, so the good news is, like, his deck's become a bit more reliable because his cities are all now labs. But I have more cities, and so my deck, I think, has become even more reliable as a result of that duchy emptying. Also, we only have to hit 2 now to buy a state. So you don't. It's not as imperative to line up these secret cave thingies. Oh wait, I passed up on the Duchess gain. I think I had resolved to want Duchesses, hadn't I? I think I should have taken that Duchess. Oh well. That was probably a mistake. Because actually, there is some significance in, like, you want to get the caves down, because even if you're most likely planning on just buying an estate next turn, you want the ability to threaten to hit 8 or 10, just in case your opponent does something that invites a populated province ending, like trying to snap up the last province. Or if they just like bought nothing. Like if he didn't buy an estate here, then I would just buy populate and win. But that would require me to have enough money to do so. Which I think at the moment I just barely do. Okay. Let's activate that now, I think. Gotta get through the deck to make sure I find the groundskeepers. That's really the important thing. Once I find all 4 of my groundskeepers, I'm peachy. Yeah, there we go. We found all those. Do those top 4 cards have good cards or bad cards in them? I don't even know. Rather than think about it, I'm just going to draw them. 2 Destrias and 2 Duchies. Okay, sure. I've been since I noticed the little trader thing, I've been intentionally oxing it just to minimize the chance that he notices. So like the prompt thingy doesn't show up and he doesn't go like, oh my god, the trader thingy, that'll work. I mean, maybe he's already long since thought about that. But if he hasn't, I want to not make it apparent what my grand plan is. I've been building up to this like final estate buy for so long now, and then watch this game just end in one of us dudding or something and that resolving the game before it ever happens. That'll be so disappointing. Even if I win, I don't want to win that way. I want to win off of this trader thing. We're getting there. 3 more turns. I think mostly game 1 is the one I'm most curious about other people's opinions on. That was the one where he played like bizarre money and it worked out. And I was very skeptical of that one. Maybe I blew that somewhere that I just didn't notice. I think it was Ox the Duchess. I don't need to hit a big number, right? He just bought a state. Yeah. So the money doesn't matter. But let me play more of these diplomats. Discard 3. Groundskeeper. Ox Duchess. Trader. Take ourselves another estate. Not the best starting hand ever, but I think I shouldn't dud. I get to see at least 4 cards here. So I have 4 chances to find a draw card. The idea being City will draw 2, Duchess can check 1 and discard it if it's bad, and then Secret Cave can draw the 4th card. And again, I have the opportunity to trash this estate here, but that extra point might make a difference. So if I call Ratcatcher on this estate, then I'll be up by 1 at the end of my turn. Then, if he buys a state and I buy a state but return it for a silver, we'll be tied. Ooh, that would be enough, right? Let me think about this. So like, if I wait a second. I know this is fine. So like if I don't trash the estate, I'd be up 71 to 69. If I do trash the estate, I'd be up 70 to 69. Then he buys a state, I buy a state and return it. We'd be tied at the end of that if I trash this estate. But that's fine, because if he populated, he would lose because he's player 1. And if he buys the estate, he would lose because I would buy double province. The concern, however, is making sure that I can hit double province. Can I do that? I mean, my deck has... I probably should have taken more of those duchesses that I was thinking about and kept passing on when I shouldn't have. Because 16 is not trivial. It is not trivial at all. I'll get 5 money extra from the cities. That'll put me close. Maybe I just do the trader thing a turn early. Like, what if I do it now and leave 3 estates? Then he takes 1 and I take 1? Is that any more or less awkward for him? I feel like that just ends up in the exact same spot, but tips my hand to turn early. I'm not sure if that actually matters. I'm not sure what would change about his play style. I'm gonna not trash the estate, I think. Don't know if that's right or not. So now I'm fine if I find a junk card because I can just discard it to Secret Cave still. Not this turn, but next turn. I think it's going to be important to get as many secret caves as I can down. Because I'll need the extra money to make sure I can double province. Like, well, actually, I'm looking at 12 here. So with 5 extra from cities, that should probably be enough. So I only really need 2 secret caves down. But I think I might like to have 3 secret caves down, just as extra insurance in case I don't find everything. I'm not sure if that's right or wrong. Basically, the thing I'm thinking about right now is, what if I don't discard twice with these 2 secret caves, and then I leave 3 secret caves for next turn? I think I like that better. I've played all my groundskeepers. We're gonna take that. Oh, I forgot to ox the trader this time. Hope I haven't given everything away. So yeah, my goal this time is to hopefully discard thrice with 3 secret caves, just to make sure that it's easy to hit 16. Because I think my strategy will really hinge on the ability to hit 16 the turn after this one. Because I believe if he buys estate, I buy estate and return it. I then force him to buy in the last estate, which I then beat with double province, as long as I hit 16. These decks are starting to get slightly rickety. I might even consider trashing this loan now. I get it as a stop card. It does have the pleasant property of helping me clean out bad shuffles if I trigger them. I think I'm gonna leave it. I don't know. I'm unsure about what makes my deck most reliable. These are sort of marginal questions, though. Okay, so we'll discard thrice here. I should play Duchess first here, in case there's a dud card on top. Diplomat's actually a good card to see. It's pretty important that I find all my groundskeepers, and these decks are starting to get shaky. I have to remember I absolutely cannot play or discard this trader, because that is, damn it. Well, shoot. I think this is still okay. I think I have exactly the bare minimum number of groundskeepers that makes this not just a loss. If I take this estate now and then trader it, this is just enough that he can't just buy not alliance, populate to win. My problem though is, okay, so he didn't notice. Perfect. That being said, I still think I might be in a bad spot here because my response to him just buying a state anyway was going to be to double province. And I think that required me to get at least 2 secret caves down. I only got 1 cave down last turn. And so I think if he just goes ahead and says, I'll buy a state, if I single province, he can province back. Oh no, this is actually fine. This is totally fine. I don't even need a double province. I can just do single province plus rat catcher, and that would be enough. Okay, I'm fine. I was convinced that I needed to buy both of the provinces, because if I just bought one province, he would win. But one province plus rat catcher ends the game as well, which is something I hadn't even considered. So this is an annoyance because if I had gotten one more groundskeeper in play last turn, then just buying populate here would be a win. Uh, now, now do we have to just do we have to empty the whole silver pile now? Oh no. Um, because now he can do it too. That dud last turn is actually killer. Oh no. Oh no. Because now, like, if I take a state and return a state, he takes a state and returns a state. That could theoretically go on as long as there's silvers in the silver pile. And I mean, our decks are gonna fall apart long before that. And I think my deck falls apart slightly slower than his does. So I should be willing to go down this path rather than like buy populate and accept the tie. But oh, this game's gonna be annoying, isn't it? Should I trash this estate now? Um, Actually, probably. Longevity seems like it's gonna be really important here, more than 1 point. I'm gonna kill it. All right, I got 1 groundskeeper down. God, this is a terrible game to get trapped in. It has the potential to run way too long. And the problem is, if this game goes on for a long time, it's just going to be resolved by like who duds, and that's not a satisfactory end to this game. Alright, I got all my groundskeepers in play. I don't know what that last card is. I don't want to count. It's not a city, so I'll just draw it. Yeah, okay, good. It was junk cards. I'll probably trash the loan now as well. Keep my deck thin. So like Dutchy dancing, pretty common. Estate dancing, this shows up occasionally. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where we have to lower the silvers one by one. Hmm. I think what's going to happen, most likely, is at some point soon, he's just going to buy the penultimate province. Because I think his deck it's weaker than mine is. And the longer these games go, his deck is going to be more likely to dud sooner than mine. I've got 5 cities to his 3. I also believe I have more Destriers. And so I feel like he shouldn't keep this charade up too long. I think he just wants, like, at some point he's got to take a risk and be like, I'll take the province and just like pray that he duds. Because the later the game goes, the less that opportunity even exists for him. And then eventually he'll just dud and I'll win. Actually, there's an even easier way to dud now, isn't there? Not only can you fail to find all of your groundskeepers, if you fail to find your trader, you're dead in the water. Because, like, actually buying the estate just kills you. Then your opponent just buys province, Ratcatcher, and wins. I don't want these silvers in the deck either. I will trash the silvers happily if I get an opportunity. React with trader. What a game. I think I'm willing to trash the state again here. I could consider trashing the Duchess as well. I think I'll keep the Duchess around. Not 100% sure of that, but I think I'm going to trash the estate and keep the Duchess. You know, I honestly, like, had I had that trader in my starting hand way back when, I probably would have just, like, trashed without thinking about it. And then that might have just led to me losing the game. It was initially a pure stroke of coincidence that I even realized this trader thing was a thing. I just happened to have not trashed it yet and noticed the reaction. I'm going to guess he must have dudded here and he doesn't have his trader in hand, which is what he's thinking about right now. Because, like, you can't buy the estate. If you buy the estate, you just lose. But you also can't not buy the estate, because if you don't buy the estate, you just lose. I think he might have just lost. I feel like if he had draw cards, the obvious play would be to play them. If he doesn't buy estate, I buy Populate. That empties Destrier and Ratcatcher at the same time. That'll be a 3 pile. And I'll be ahead in points. If he does buy the estate, I still need to hit 10. Then I'll buy Ratcatcher plus Province, which should be enough points to win. And then that would 3 pile on Ratcatcher, Duchy Estate. And yeah, provided he's dudded. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I just need to hit 10 to win. In which case, I'm calling this Ratcatcher just so I can activate this Diplomat. I think that makes me marginally less likely to dud. I've got 8 in hand. Well, now I've got 10 in hand, right? Let's double check this. 6 plus 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. And I see a bunch of low piles and a points lead. So I'm just going to click Populate and win the game. And actions, Populate, random order. Oh goodness, what a game.